Guys, Venios has just hit $350,000 per month in revenue, up from $250,000 per month a year ago. They're working with over 100 power grid operators spread across Germany, Netherlands, Austria, Switzerland, India, South America, powering over 1 million substations to help these power grid operators optimize their systems and, most importantly, decentralize the power grid, which is more sustainable. They're growing quick. They might raise, call it 2 to 4 million here. I call it a 40 to 50 million valuation. We'll see what Jonas does. Hey folks, my guest today is Jonas Sazin. He's building a tool called Venios. That's VENIOS.com. It's Power Grid Real-Time Operating System. Jonas, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we're working on that. We're working
All
on
right.
that.
So how'd you get, who are you selling to? Are you selling to governments or who's using this?
So our solution is used by grid operators, by DSOs or DNOs, distribution system operators. So the owners of the local monopoly, the owners of the grid, the suppliers, the utilities, basically. Yeah.
All around the world, or are you focused on a particular geo?
Oh, we started in Germany, then rather fast went into Netherlands, Austria, and Switzerland. Now we do have activities in whole Europe, and also first activities in South America and also in India. So expanding because we are solving a physical problem by using IT, and the physical problem is everywhere where you start to integrate renewables locally into your infrastructure.
And so like I'm a power grid operator in the Netherlands. Yeah. What am I paying you to help me with?
So the point is that the old infrastructure, the grid, is built like a champagne pyramid. So this is the old perspective: having the pyramid, having big bottles of champagne, filling it from the top, and then it goes down. Now, if you start to transform your system into a decentralized renewable system, then you have it's like filling up the champagne pyramid from the bottom line. So you need to know, where are glasses, how full are the glasses, where is some more champagne needed, where do I have too much champagne? And so this complexity we help with our solution to handle. And this is exactly the pain we are solving. So integration of EVs, integration of heat pumps, integration of AC. AC is less a topic in the Netherlands, but a big topic in India. Integration of PV, of course. Decentralized generation is a big topic. Combined heat and power integration, and all the decentralized assets. Because in the old world, we do have big power plants, coal, nuclear, gas. And now we're building this system, or we're transforming this system into a decentralized system with small assets. So
understood. And what is the average power grid operator pay you per month or per year to use your technology?
Oh, this is based on the amount of substations. So in the utility domain, on the monopoly side, on the infrastructure side, normally you have a payment based on counting points, like households or industry. And we do, to differ a little, have an option to be referring on the amount of substations. And it depends on how many substations you have, and so basically how big is your grid. So
so what is the price per substation?
So what is the price per substation? So let me say it like this: if you have a project volume of $100. An estimated project of $100. You have an implementation fee for the first year, and you have a SaaS fee, and the SaaS fee is roughly 30 to 35%, and the rest is implementation, and the SaaS fee is ongoing. And it can depend if you have a small utility from several 10,000 euros SaaS fee, up to, if you are a big utility in India or big utility in the Netherlands, to several 100,000.
Jonas, try and simplify. This is complex. I get it. You have a lot of different options, but try and simplify this for my audience. On average, what is a power operator paying you per month or per year to use your technology across all their substations? Are we talking 20,000 a year, or 2 million a year, 20 million a year? Where are you generally?
No, it's between. Depending on the size, it's between 50 to 300.
$300,000 per year.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
From 50 to 300,000.
And if someone's paying you $300,000 per year, likely how many substations do they have?
Then you're in the area of several 10,000 substations, between, depending on the infrastructure quality and what is happening, between I would say 30 to 100,000 substations.
Okay, and if someone's only paying you $50,000 per year, how many substations do they likely have?
full rollout is in the should be in the area of from 150 to 500, depending on the complexity of the infrastructure.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview.
And then to keep building that out, so let's say I have 500 substations, I'm paying you a SaaS fee of $50,000 per year. You're also then going to charge me an implementation fee of about what?
So as mentioned, so implementation is one. We do have 30% implementation,
30% of what? We don't know what percent you're taking. So 30% of the ACV you just gave me.
If 50,000 is SaaS fee, then you have an implementation project of roughly 150 to 200.
Okay, got it. So the setup just to go live is 150,000, and then the recurring fee on the back end is $50,000 per year.
Yeah,
and so you should have really, really high net dollar retention then, because after someone pays a big setup fee, they never should cancel, right?
That's so we do have so we don't have a churn rate. Churn rate is 0.
When did you launch the company? First customer was in what year?
We started 10 years ago.
Okay, so call it 2012, 2013.
12.
And since then, you've had no one has started using you and then stopped using you, or started you with 1,000 substations and then churned down to 100 substations.
So we so with small customers, we start normally with a full rollout. So with big customers, we normally start in one region, like having a region A, and then going from A to B to C, and then growing into the infrastructure. Because it's highly profitable, and if you have already started with one region, then it's relatively cheap to because we are something. You can see our solution like enterprise service bus kind of solution because we are connected to GI information system, to asset information system, to SCADA system, to all the solutions that are existing at the utility, and building then up a real-time virtual twin for planning and for control the infrastructure. And the value is, so we have customers with return on invest of less than 1 year.
With what? Less than 1 year?
Return of invest. ROI.
I see. My question though, I mean, I appreciate the extra context you gave, but that wasn't my question. My question was, has anyone started in region A, B, and C, and then downgraded to only using you in region A?
No.
So in 10 years, you've had nobody even not cancel completely, but you haven't even had anyone downgrade one substation across your entire base.
So we do have structural changes within the infrastructure, of course. Then assets go out and new assets are coming in. But if you started to integrate our solution normally, we are in regions with a high criticality. So a lot of PV, a lot of dynamics in the infrastructure, and then our solution gives the value to bring transparency and controllability. And
I understand the product. I'm just asking about net dollar retention. That's all. Okay, got it. So how many, if you add up all of the individual power grid operators that currently rely on Venios, how many of them are there today?
Roughly 100.
100. And if you add up all the substations that are connected to your technology, how many is it? It's got to be in the millions, right?
It should be roughly 1 million, maybe more. We are working on that actually, because we do have a strong growth phase actually, and just imagine having so we have 2 of 3 DSOs in Delhi and in India, and one DSO, 1/3 of Delhi is roughly like 80%, 90% of Scandinavia. So Delhi is like massive.
Jonas, talk to me more about your team. How many folks are full-time?
Roughly 30 people.
30 people.
Small team.
And what's the breakdown? How many are engineers?
Most of them. Basically all of them.
Okay. Are you an engineer?
Yes. I studied physics, and I've done my doctorate in production science in the automotive industry at Daimler.
Who sells?
In the beginning, I was a salesman, CEO and salesman, and then now we have a small sales team and growing. So we plan to double the team within the next 12 months.
And are you bootstrapped today, or have you raised capital?
From a US perspective, we are more or less bootstrapped. We have like investment of less than $1 million into the company.
And when did you raise that capital?
We do have some business angel that founded with our ended at founding, and in the last decade we do have one founding round and collected some money.
What year was that?
Actually, it was in 2018.
So 2018, you did like $1 million pre-seed round.
Less, because we do have, of course, the angel round. So all in, there was investment of less than $1 million into the company.
Less than $1 million. Okay, that's great. So capital efficient. And then just to confirm, you've got these power grid operators. They're all paying you again somewhere between $50,000 a year and $300,000 per year, right?
Yes.
So if we take 100 of those operators, and let's say they're all paying you the minimum of $50,000 per year, that would put you at MRR today of about $420,000 per month. Is that accurate?
This is realistic region.
It's what?
It's in this region, yes.
Oh, your monthly revenue is in the 400. It's above $400,000.
It's a little less, but the region is correct.
Can you break $400,000 a month this year, you think?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Can you break $400,000 per month in revenue by December?
Break? Sorry,
Jonas, what do you plan to grow by this year? How much can you grow revenue this year?
Yeah, we're doubling.
Okay, doubling. Okay, and did you double? So if you're doing $350,000 a month today, what were you doing exactly 1 year ago?
I have to check the numbers. Sorry, I'm on the forefront. So I'm at that point. We're planning to more or less double the next.
No, Jonas, I'm asking. My question was the last 12 months.
Last 12 months was so we did have upgrowth of 250% in 2021. And restructured the company last year. So there was growth of roughly 10, 20%. I have to check the numbers in detail.
Okay.
Sorry.
So like a year ago, you were doing something like $280,000 per month and you grew 20%.
Yeah, 250 to 80 something.
250. Yeah. Okay. That's great. Well, this is you have very efficient revenue per employee, right? I mean, you're doing between call it 4 and 5 million in ARR annual revenue today with a team of 33. That's a lot of team of 30. That's a lot of efficiency. How do you get that much revenue per employee?
By offering valued solution to our customers and having highly efficient implementation work. So normally we could do an implementation of a customer up to 10,000 substations is roughly 1 million counting points within less than 10 days, including all the infrastructure data and our competitors. Or if you go into the normal situation in this market, it's like half of the time our competitors need to set up a PMO.
Understood. And I got my math a little wrong.
80 to 90% implementation. Sorry. Yeah.
I got my math slightly wrong. Sorry. If you're doing 5 million run rate today with 30 people, you're doing more like $160,000 per month per year in revenue per employee, which is pretty standard for a private, capital efficient, SaaS company. So those numbers all check out. They look good. I mean, how do you go from 1 million substations to 2 million substations? What's your expansion strategy, especially if you're the only one doing sales?
No, I'm not the only one. We do have a sales team.
Well, you just told me that all 30 employees were engineers.
Yeah, but engineers could only so from the background they're engineers, but there we do have people with an engineering background also in sales.
So of your full-time team, how many folks are actually writing code on a daily basis?
We do have 18 people are working in code development, and the rest is working with customers. How
many are sales reps with the quota?
3.
Okay. And how did you, every SaaS founders listening right now, they always struggle with how to hire and structure their first sales hire. How did you come up with the quota for your first sales hire?
So my first sales hire was now our chief sales officer, and so he was coming from the industry, and he supported me. Like we went both into the market, and now he's the head of the sales team, and we do have 2 colleagues within the sales team, and the sales team will grow up to 4 to 5 people within the next 12 months.
That's great. Any plans to raise capital, or you're going to stay basically bootstrapped?
We're thinking about for accelerating the market entrance also in North America and
how much would you consider raising?
We think about between 2 and 4.
And do you think you can get like a 40 or 50 million valuation?
That would be an interesting range.
Mm-hmm. How do you get there today? I mean, it has nothing to do with you. It's just the macroeconomic trends right now are just no one's writing checks.
So it's so being in the field of critical infrastructure, being in the field where customers couldn't go bankrupt, and having super solid cash flows from our customers, so we're not faced with any liquidity problem at the moment. We do have a lot of capital institutions, I would say, that are asking about if it's possible to invest in Vinyas.
And if you had a choice of raising 2 million on a 40 million valuation or taking 20 million all cash upfront today to sell the whole company, which one would you take?
No, selling the company is no option. So it's a multi-billion-dollar market. And so in Germany, the investment in the infrastructure in the next 10 years is roughly 100 billion. So European-wide investment in infrastructure only on the electricity side is roughly 1 trillion. Globally, something between 3 and 5. And there should be enough room for having several 10 or 100 million revenue for IT to operate this critical infrastructure.
Yeah, but you have to go capture that market. I understand it's big. It's taken you 10 years to grow to $4.5-5 million in revenue. So what are you changing? Like, how do you go?
Now it's kickstarting. So the point is, it's not selling books. It's a complex technology. It's needed to work. So we're actually at platform generation 4. So we put away our old platforms. So now we can compete with a big with a classical competitors like a Siemens, like a ABB, like a Schneider, and now it's like doubling every year or more. Profitable is
well, you didn't double the past 12 months, just to be clear. You grew 20% the past 12 months. That's what you just told me.
Yeah, but the year before we more than doubled.
Understood. We're rooting for you, obviously. I'm just pushing you here. So let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's the last book that you read?
It's Faust from Goethe. It's a German. Okay. It's a German book.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
So,
is there a founder? Is there a founder that you're following or studying?
From a technology perspective, I think Elon Musk is pretty interesting.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building Venios?
Excellent.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Oh, last night it was like 3, but normally I try to get between 5 or 6.5.
And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
I do have 2 kids and I do have a wife, but we're not married.
2 kiddos? Okay, great. And how old are you?
I'm 43.
43. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20 years old?
Knowing that founding a company is not searching after the right vision or idea. It's just the will to form markets, and that is important. To the will to form something, to do something, not waiting on the brilliant idea. So we started with optimizing of EV and EV charging infrastructure. Now we are on the other side. So it's just do something. It's important.
Guys, Venios has just hit $350,000 per month in revenue, up from $250,000 per month a year ago. They're working with over 100 power grid operators spread across Germany, Netherlands, Austria, Switzerland, India, South America, powering over 1 million substations to help these power grid operators optimize their systems and, most importantly, decentralize the power grid, which is more sustainable. They're growing quick. They might raise, we'll call it 2 to 4 million here. I call it a 40 to 50 million valuation. We'll see what Jonas does. But in the meantime, Jonas, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.